Hey everybody, it's Bobo the Vulture.
I'm Sir G.
And this is Let's Play Together, even though it's a one-player game. Metal Gear Solid, Peace Walker, and we are actually gonna go search for Zdarnov now, I think.
I think so. Let's do it.
Rock and roll, let's do it, Cleveland!
Hey, Zdarnov, are you here behind the... Ooh, Chapter 5, Outer Heaven.
Outer heaven?
Step 1 in rebuilding Outer Heaven, better security.
Find Zadornov and bring him back here with Fulton recovery.
Oops, sure hope we got Fulton recovery.
We do
Okay,
have
good.
Fulton recovery.
So this is this like a new area?
I don't know, I don't recognize it.
Hmm.
It may be just that it's been one that we've been away from for a very long time.
Could be.
There was a guy wandering around over there. Yeah, he's just on the other side of that truck. See him?
Okay. No, I'm having some glare issues. At some point we figured out how to zoom. Ah, here we go. That is not him, is it?
No, I think that may just be the tree trunk. Maybe take a side step. Maybe there was just a tree trunk there. I could have sworn there was a guy that was walking around back there. I mean, maybe there is, and the thing to do is try and sneak up, sidle up real quick against the truck. Or maybe the thing to do is see what's going on over here. Oh, there's a guy. To the right. Right.
Uh-huh.
Well, if he's the only guy here, you can wake him up and then freeze him. You could freeze him with the cooling spray to wake him up and then freeze him.
But he might not be the only guy here.
It's true.
Freeze.
Thank you for telling me to freeze before I completely set up.
Saved me a lot of time and energy, brother.
That's right, dude.
Toko appreciates being captured by you, brother.
You can try and head up this way. The Rio del Jade.
The Jade River, alright. Oh, I thought I'd already started going to the next screen. And I hadn't. Mysterious Bobo.
Oh, I remember this area.
Okay.
Sort of. Yeah, you remember this place?
Is this where... What? Somebody saw us? Or is there a compo?
Oh, there's a soldier right there.
Shot fired! What's that? The enemy's attacking! Going to alert status!
Understood.
I did
Maintain
not mean to
heightened
do that.
alert.
Oh, shit. I do remember this place now, though.
This place isn't so bad, though.
Somebody's here!
Like, not right there, but somebody's around somewhere.
Stop shooting, what's the sound? Everybody looks what's going down. It's a good thing these guys can barely see.
Yeah.
patrol. All clear.
Understood. Stay vigilant.
Oh,
Guy was
clear.
so excited about how it's clear.
I'm trying.
Things.
Search every inch of that area.
We do need to start storing our ranks after
We need to return to
getting
base.
guys killed. Yeah,
Reform our ranks.
I don't think one of the guys patrolling is Zadornov, but
Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
Oh yeah, there's Compañero on there.
yeah, I see him.
Now,
Fulton recovery helicopter is complete.
now there are several more areas.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna go crazy with it. I'll go back to our normal
Rations.
normal approach of try to sneak up on guys and
I'm seeing things.
Yeah. Looks like the dart did take effect on the one guy over there.
yeah,
I know, you're waiting to
when I can get there.
be invisible to that guy.
Well, Miller told us to search every inch of the area. I wonder if this is actually
The area where he is.
where he is.
I mean, it could be. I mean, it's probably worth
I've got a
looking.
feeling about that area. Keep looking.
Yeah, I think this is probably where it is.
Well, I tell you what.
Okay.
If you do think you found him, and right now you may as well just like freeze these guys. You can always capture them after you've done that.
Well, the mission probably ends when we find him, but
All right. Well,
no, it's not. I'm not worried about it.
Enemies close by.
Damn it!
One.
I. Fine, then you get folded if that's what's gonna make you happy. Oops. I actually didn't remember that I had that equipped.
You meant to pat him down.
I meant to pat him down. Oh well.
It's all right.
Alright, slowly search this area. No, damn it, I want to get these anesthesia rounds.
Baby.
Anesthesia!
Baby. Boop. Take a look around from up there.
The doorknob's nearby. I can smell him.
Smells like chocobos.
That is definitely what I think Zadornov would probably smell like. Did we ever come up here before?
I don't even know if this was an area before.
Yeah, look into the left here. I think it was the area where you had to go for DJ Chrysalis. Yep, there it is.
Down.
What has he got on him? Anesthesia rounds. Alright.
Okay, well.
Oh wait, I still
Okay,
gotta escape
you're
though.
done with that area. Head for the goal.
Which is on the other side of 1,000,000 heavily armed guards.
Nah, you can just Fulton yourself right here. Go Fulton yourself,
I knew
Snake.
you could do it. Piece of cake, right?
Yeah, let's not let him escape again. I was kind of wondering what happens if he spots you, but they did have him ranged. He was staring directly into a wall.
Yeah.
So it's basically hide and go seek mission. 32 heroism. kind of Ness.
Hey.
I guess because probably if it weren't
Alert
for that
phase?
fucking alert phase, yeah. Well, anyway, here, handing it over to Bobo. Got 4
some new
soldiers.
guys.
Hooty hoo.
Sultan Radar.
All right, Sultan Radar.
Well, geez, I guess having
Mei Ling has been invented.
So, you found me.
It wasn't hard. What are you up to anyway?
Well, it wasn't hard because you're not that excited by
Going
men.
for a stroll.
Kaz, I've got Zadornov. Returning home.
Acknowledge, Snake.
And I also acknowledge we should have better security at Mother Base and not have left a speedboat for him to use to get back to the coast.
What?
Yeah.
Total
Looks
package,
like a
Seeker.
cassette tape. Don't worry, it's clean. No trace of explosives or anything. The address just says Eva.
Eva.
Someone you know?
An old acquaintance.
Oh, the plot thickens. Tidings from an old flame?
Don't start.
Now
Kaz.
it's hard.
Anyway, I'll check it out later.
Okay, just don't go running off after this chick. We can't afford for you to be distracted right now.
Alright. And we didn't spontaneously develop a head for Metal Gear, so... But we got new plot stuff. Eva tapes to listen to.
Yeah, this is good.
It's Eva, like, talking dirty. It's like, I'm bored, Snake, so I made you a dirty tape.
There's another one. So, Basking Shark. These guys are...
They get increased stats for, like, everything. Cayman Island banker guy is in the brig, so is Bald Eagle. Yeah, feel reasoned with for a while. We'll get him. We'll eventually get him to join our combat unit and fight helicopter forces.
Well, he'll turn around, I'm sure of it.
So, what do we do to develop Sultan Leda?
Still locked. I guess we need to level up our research team or something. Alright, so let's take a look at the new... We got a lot of staff in the waiting room. How did that happen? Oh, did
Guys
they...
came out of sick bay and we captured guys.
Yeah. Oh, we got Falcon.
And the Mantis Claw? No, wait.
No, we got Falcon.
And his
He's-
famous punch.
He's the guy who's, well, yeah, it could be Captain Falcon, or it could be the G.I. Joe, who I think in the later series had a drug problem.
He's a voice actor.
Let's put our heads together and make Mother Base grow.
He does this great Nicholson. Well,
He's got good intelligence skills.
Yeah, I think
so.
he'll probably end up in the intelligence unit, which honestly we don't care about that much right now because we're not doing a whole lot with that. But I would just say auto-assign and move on, unless you really want to do a lot of outer ops stuff right now. Probably just go in for another mission.
Yeah,
Wait
just
for our
kinda
guys to
curious
heal up.
See, whether he ended up over here.
It's Booger. Oh, it's Broger.
Sebastian Broger. Wait, where was he? Oh, yeah, there is Captain Falcon. Good, Captain Falcon's with us.
Falcon
He is
Man
with us always.
Falcon Man is greedy. He will do whatever it takes to get what he wants. Mantis on the Falcon Claw.
Alright, so let's go select another mission then. Probably attack Chrysalis or Pupa again, and
Notorious Falcon
unless
Man.
we have a new mission. Yeah, we should probably listen to the
to the Eva
whoa,
tape.
Date with Paz.
Yeah, I mentioned that. We can try this. I think in order to actually do it correctly, you need to go in and like set up your codec messages so that you know what. Let's just try it and see what happens.
Now,
Unless you want to go after snake gear retrieval. Unless
yeah,
you
that
want
was the
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a lot of ones we haven't done, or we can just do just go kill freaking Chrysalis until we get a head part.
take out the enemy Chrysalis one.
Eliminate the kidnappers. Attack chopper battle. That would be how we would get one of those in our army, but it wouldn't probably give us a head part.
Well, also, if we just blew it up, we wouldn't get it. We'd have to
Yeah, we'd have to
tranquilize
tranquilize guys.
the guy inside it. All right, I guess I'll take a shot at Chrysalis.
That's the
Huey, that horrible ignorant man, was referring to. But make sure you switch over. we listened to the briefing files, great, but make sure you switch over to combat gear so you're not shooting trank darts at it.
Yes.
Ooh. Her therapy session where she had to confess all of her lies to Big Boss.
Jeez, there is a lot here.
Yeah, this might be the video here.
Hello, Snake. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while.
I hear you've
So I
been
guess they
causing
did
quite
hire
the
her.
ruckus in Nicaragua.
I was wondering if she got
Nothing
paid
much
for
to
the
report
previous
from my
one.
end. The legacy's being put to good use. Or so they tell me.
The legacy?
But enough with the small talk. There's something I need to tell you. You saw the photo that came with this tape, right?
No.
A picture of a
Boss gave
skull?
that to me 10 years ago.
Did we get to see the photo?
I'm sorry, I should have told you sooner. I probably should have told you right away.
Before telling you about the legacy.
But sending it to you hasn't been an easy decision to make. It's taken me 10 years.
I think slow.
Once you've heard what I have to say, you'll understand why. That photo belonged to her. I know what you're thinking. What does she have to do with this? You've probably seen it 100 times in the press already. Obviously, it's of the Mercury 7, the first group of American astronauts.
It turns out she didn't go to space. She was bullshitting us all.
But there were actually 8 people in that photo.
Oh, they
One
edited
of
her
them was
up.
edited out, erased, without a trace.
By 60s
That 8th
Photoshop.
astronaut,
Mm-hmm.
the one airbrushed out of existence. That was her, Snake. Now why did they need to keep her existence a secret? What were they trying to hide? The answer goes back even further. 17 years ago.
To the Trilateral
It was the
Commission
height of
and the
Cold
Bilderberg
War.
Group.
The Eastern and Western blocs were racing to develop space technology to match their nuclear arsenals.
And to build a
In
secret
1957,
Illuminati
the Soviet
base
Union
beneath
launched
Denver
Sputnik
International
1,
Airport.
the first artificial satellite. The Americans were stunned. They'd been
They
led to
hollowed
believe
out a
their
mountain
country
and built
led
the
the world
SR-70.
in
Well, actually, that
science
did
and
happen.
technology. That shock quickly turned into fear.
And then the
If the
Shock
Russians
Master
had the know-how
emerged.
to launch a satellite into space, they could use it to launch a nuclear missile too.
Yeah, you know,
The U.S. threw everything it had
that
into
shock
the
and fear and
space
everything,
race.
it gave us a
The following
bitchin'
year,
technology,
the Army
though.
succeeded
Yeah,
in
yeah.
launching the first American satellite, Explorer 1.
Reporting
The National Aeronautics and Space Administration was established that
NASA.
fall, and Project Mercury with it.
Mercury
the goal
Aqua
was to
Rhapsody.
send a man into space, and 7 men were chosen as pilot candidates.
But they didn't
The
have the
media
brains
dubbed them
necessary
the
to be
Mercury
AIs.
7. They were immediately hailed as national heroes, icons of Western space exploration.
The Russians had already
But
explored
after
Eastern
Explorer,
space.
America suffered a series of failed rocket launches. Desperate, the government made a fateful
Then
decision.
Voyager went off course
Unable to
and
wait for its space
became this
program to
AI
reach
called
Mars,
V'ger and came
Yep.
back
it
to
steered
Earth
the
and shaped
Soviets'
versus Kambata's
technology,
head.
at the same time sabotaging their space program. You know better than
Sure.
anyone how hard a mission that was.
Yep.
It'll be a hard
The
one.
Soviet space program was shrouded in secrecy.
And tarps.
Recovering that information would be no easy task. Using the help of an insider, they'd insert a sleeper agent into the research institute, or else recruit one of those insiders to do the job for them.
Can we go back to the
And
small
if
talk?
necessary, the mission leader would have to go in and sort things out themselves. Someone was needed with experience, knowledge, and superior intuition.
Space flight experience.
And the only one for the job was the boss.
Springsteen?
The president himself asked for her by name.
Which he knew,
He
apparently.
needed someone who could
I
be
want
trusted
the boss.
of a nation.
Give me the
Who else
boss.
to turn to? But the hero of the Second World War. It was
Stalin?
George.
Oh wait, no, he's not. That.
So you see, Snake, that's why she left. That was the top secret mission that took her from you. But her selection ruffled a few CIA feathers.
Hot
They
Colton
didn't
is the cause of
appreciate
all
the
problems.
president going over their head like that. The mission was tough enough already, and now the CIA was dragging
Oh
its
man, the
feet.
mission was tough enough.
She couldn't
They had to
get
find the
anything out
next
of that.
WWE
Manpower,
superstar.
information. Left to her own devices, the boss made a decision she knew would come back to haunt her.
She had
She
sex with
decided
this
to tap into
ghost
the
soldier of the
philosopher's
Russians.
network. And that's when the wheels of fate began to turn.
Yep, that was the entire one side of a cassette tape right there, where the exposition was going to
No,
session.
these are her therapy sessions.
The philosophers were a secret society of power brokers formed in a pact between the U.S., Russia, and China in the early 20th century. Of course, by that time, the American and Soviet branches had already parted ways.
And the Chinese branch didn't really make a lot of
Those among
sense,
the
as we
remaining
described in Metal
Russian
Gear Solid
philosophers
3.
not entirely happy with the one-party communist state.
They decided to go for a party school. Woo!
She arranged clandestine meetings in Berlin, hoping to find a way into OKB-1, the Soviets' premier design bureau. She worked tirelessly to win their sympathy, in some instances using huge sums of cash. In
Which is
others,
something we've
by
well
helping them
established that
over
the
the Berlin
philosophers
Wall.
don't have.
But she's a cash money
It was a
millionaire.
dangerous game to be playing.
I think she'd gotten a hold of their
The
cash and was getting
philosophers
some of
had
it back.
everything on her, and not just information either.
They also had her
She given
boyfriend, the
birth to a
Russian
child on
ghost
the battlefield,
soldier.
only to have them immediately snatch it away.
Oh, the Snatchers!
I know she told you that story.
But it's
If
not
that
true.
child was in the hands of the Soviet philosophers, she'd be putting more than just herself in danger.
I thought the American
But she
philosophers were
did
supposed to
what
have
she
done
had
that.
to do.
Hmm.
At the time, the Soviet Union was believed to have an arsenal of missiles far greater than that of the United States.
In reality, they
If
had
that
weird
proved to be the
officers who
case,
could shoot
Moscow would be
lightning.
free from the yoke of nuclear deterrence,
The Yokozuna.
raising the possibility that the Soviets might actually launch nukes
Nuclear
if
launch
they felt
attack.
it necessary. As you know, the so-called missile gap turned out to be a Soviet bluff. Moscow
Well, and
launched
as it turned out in the
incredible
end,
lengths to
both
perpetuate
sides
the
had
lie.
more than enough
In
nuclear
fact, the whole
capability
thing
to destroy the
was really
world.
just a part of an elaborate ruse.
Uh-huh.
Only we didn't
An
know
evil
that.
plan that was being put in place by the
It was
Templars.
a joke that even she swallowed the whole missile gap story, hook, line, and sinker. She put her life on the line for the sake of her country, to prevent nuclear war.
Oh, is
It
that
was
what?
because of
Okay,
her
now it all makes
official
more
efforts
sense.
that America succeeded in placing a sleeper agent inside OKB-1. NASA began to receive huge volumes of technical data from the Soviet
So don't tell the
program.
Russians about the
By the end
contents of
of
this tape, okay?
1959, they'd succeeded in sending a chimpanzee named Sam on a ballistic rocket flight.
Sam
the
was a
rocket never left
spy.
the atmosphere.
I don't even want to tell you what they did
But
to
all
make
the
it look
same,
like
it
Sam
was
was
a huge
talking.
success for NASA, restoring confidence in its technology.
When Sam managed to eject and parachute
When the
down
operation
safely,
started to
right?
produce results, the CIA came calling. You're a war hero, they said. No need for you to dirty your hands with this sort of black ops. We'll take it from here. In effect, they wanted to reap the rewards for themselves.
'Cause nobody says anything nice to
The
say
boss
about the
didn't
poor
object.
CIA.
My part is over, she said. I don't care what you do with the data now.
Fuck you.
It seemed as if NASA was making great strides toward manned spaceflight,
Or
while the
woman
Russians
spaceflight.
lagged behind. They even got a report from their mole at OKB-1.
I thought it was a
The
monkey.
safe return of Sam has sent our scientists into a panic, he said. Soon
And he
afterward,
dug himself a
the
burrow.
Soviet Union sent an animal of its own into space on Sputnik 2.
Pull
The dog
up, Laika.
Kudryavka, better known to the world as Laika. But
Uh-huh.
Laika was fated never to return to Earth.
He became a space dog.
The U.S. can recover its
Yeah,
spacecraft
jeez.
from the ocean upon re-entry. But the Soviet Union only borders the frozen Arctic. They had to bring their spacecraft down on land.
Well, they've
How
got a
could they
lot of
soften
it.
the impact enough to bring a living creature back safely? The agent
You know
reported
what?
that the Soviets hadn't yet found a solution to that problem.
It also saved them the
The plot
problem of
to
having to
sabotage
figure
the
out life
Soviet
support
space
that would
program
sustain the
seemed to
dog
be
for the
working.
entire trip.
Yeah, it didn't.
First,
Yeah.
they tampered with Sputnik 4's re-entry.
By moving the Earth's position in the
months
solar system.
One of their rockets exploded on the launch pad.
Launchpad of quack.
They did manage to send 2 dogs into orbit aboard Sputnik 5 and return them safely to Earth. But the agent dismissed it as a fluke.
Like you do.
Dogs, sure, but humans? They didn't have the technology.
Of course. What?
Everybody believed it. Everybody was complacent. Everybody. Except the boss.
Then the boss cured cancer with her farts.
Because
that
she'd
smell
been
like
talking
apples.
to the Fury and knew that he was almost ready to go in
Some
space.
kind of ejection device on the capsule that didn't quite belong.
It was a
She
railgun.
couldn't figure out the reason why it was there. What was it supposed to eject?
Shit.
NASA shrugged off her
It's a
concerns.
flusher.
They figured it was
NASA's
probably
like that. They're
just
just
a
casual
water
about
tank.
these things. It's just they don't
The
care.
boss pleaded with them to investigate, but the CIA wasn't having it.
Because the
They
CIA is
probably
a
thought she
bunch
was
of
trying to
dicks.
reclaim some of the glory for herself. The boss wouldn't give up. She decided to head to the Soviet Union herself,
To betray you and
without any backing from the CIA. By the beginning of the next year, 1961,
so we're retconning the third game, or like Mass Metal Gear Solid 3 in post-game tapes that you could easily miss.
So, the boss,
Uh-huh.
who was a war hero,
Mhm.
I guess. So basically, this amazing soldier.
Yeah, she's super soldier. She gave birth. She went onto the battlefield 8.5 months pregnant, gave birth, and it was stolen by Russians.
Sure.
The baby, and then she became first woman in space.
Well, no,
Uh-huh.
but before that,
Okay.
she also, like, I could sort of get the basic idea that, oh, maybe she's somehow a sort of a slick enough secret agent to, like, get paperwork and everything else to go into, I don't know, this Soviet rocketry design bureau, but then to, like, show up, what's her first day of work like? Well, yeah, so she was a brilliant rocket scientist, too, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. She developed dogs that can survive crashing
hard to place was a
ground.
double agent. He'd been turned by the Soviets and was feeding the Americans lies.
Too many
But what
lies.
shocked the boss even more was why.
He was a
The
jerk.
CIA's access to him had been
Just-
taking a
just 'cause
large
he's a
cut
That was
of
all
his
us.
pay. The sleeper felt what little he was left with wasn't worth the risk.
Really?
When he got a better offer from Moscow, he took it. At some point, the Americans' intelligence operation had become an open book to the Soviets. And contrary to what the sleeper had been reporting, the Soviets' manned spaceflight technology was quite advanced. It wasn't until she infiltrated OKB-1 herself that the boss learned the truth about Sputnik 5.
It was full of dogs that weren't dead.
Yeah, it's gonna be like dogs loaded in there like
Ejected
sausages.
Seat and all, at an altitude of 7,000 meters. It was the Soviet solution to the problem of land recovery.
No, land
The
doesn't need to
mystery
be
device
recovered.
attached to Sputnik 5 was for that purpose.
Mystery
The
device.
pilot would parachute down from that high altitude wearing a bulky spacesuit.
Known as a poopy
Crazy,
suit.
I know. The Soviets knew exactly how dangerous it was, of course.
The guy got really mad and became the
They
Fury.
gave Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, a special 2-rank promotion before re-entry. Only Moscow could come up with this kind of plan.
Seriously,
With
dude.
total
promote
state
people?
control over information, they could easily pretend it never happened in the event of a failure. The boss passed the info on to NASA. It was their worst nightmare.
Other than
The
being
glory
naked in front of the whole
mankind's
school.
first space flight
Having
was
to
about
give
to
the
be
rocket
stolen from
presentation.
them by the Soviet Union.
So they sent her to
It was
space.
Sputnik all over again. And the CIA was caught no less off guard. Their ineptitude had caused the fiasco in the first place.
Alright, so now...
This deception was brilliant. They'd woven a masterful tapestry of truth and fiction to convince
Called
the
friction.
Americans their intelligence operations were proceeding as planned.
Hey, see, stop using the
No
pronouns.
one
Who's
but
there?
The boss could have seen through it.
She was a super
It was
genius,
obvious the
scientist,
Soviets had
soldier.
some gifted minds working
She
on their
invented
side.
CQC.
But that certainly didn't excuse the CIA's massive failure.
Man, they suck.
The CIA wasn't done, though, and devised an ingenious plan to avoid taking responsibility.
They blamed the boss.
Luckily
Yeah.
for them, a new president had been elected the previous November. John F. Kennedy.
He was a jerk.
As he didn't know the case history when taking office, the CIA was able to feed lies
He was
to
too
his
busy
new
banging Marilyn
administration.
Monroe.
They masked their own failures, placing the blame squarely on the boss's shoulders.
And that's why the boss
After all,
assassinated
she selected
Kennedy.
an unreliable sleeper. They claimed she'd failed to make use of one of the most effective means of controlling a sleeper agent's actions: holding their family hostage. The boss was well aware that would have worked. She told me so later,
Over cocktails.
but she couldn't bring herself to do it. It seems clear it had had to do with having her own child taken.
Otherwise, she's all about holding a family sausage.
No, she could kill people for sure. Like millions of
In his
dudes.
election campaign, Kennedy had vowed to close the missile gap with Moscow.
I vow to close the Maslow gap with Moscow.
That promise would be worthless. The fact that the president had
Also,
no
he just looked a
links to
lot
the
better on
philosophers
camera than
only
Nixon.
made things worse. He was completely unaware of the secret networks she'd used to complete her mission. In
What a
his eyes,
doof.
She was no better than a traitor. The
You
fate
all know better than a traitor.
was cruel beyond belief.
They sent her to space.
So wait.
She was tortured with electrodes in Costa Rica.
So
Mhm.
in
Glad
Metal
you're
Gear
following this.
in Metal Gear Solid 3,
Uh-huh.
they retconned history by making Americans the first to send a human being into space. That
Yes.
human being being the boss.
Yep.
Now here,
They're retconning back to
they're
history.
retconning back to history by making Yuri Gagarin the first human to go into space.
Well, did they say that, or did they say he was all ready to go?
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see what Session 4 has to say.
Maybe JFK is going to be like, as punishment for your crimes, we're going to send you into space.
Make you the most famous person in history, but then no one's allowed to know. I'm gonna let the Russians take the credit because I'm retarded. Wicked retarded.
Yeah. There you go. What the hell?
The order came down from above.
The
The
New
boss
World
would
Order.
take the official
Yep.
blame for the sleeper's betrayal.
Official blame. It's a secret
The
operation.
guinea pig for NASA's manned spaceflight
Yep.
program.
Wow.
By then,
As punishment
NASA
for
had
your
vowed
crimes.
Taurus sending
You
a
must
ship
go to
into
space.
Now came a whole battery of ground tests to pave the way for a human to take its place. High G tests, zero G tests.
Elvis says
space
punishment for your crimes. You will become the most famous physician in American
Some of the
history.
tests were highly dangerous. Too dangerous for the Mercury 7.
Bunch of
The crew by
pussies,
then
guys,
already needed
losers.
So the boss was made to stand in for them.
She was like shot into walls and shit.
Argued her side of the story against
Yeah.
the CIA.
You know that old film footage that always shows somebody get shot in the stomach with a cannonball? That's really the boss.
The boss was put in a variety of nonsensical flying machines and shoved off cliffs.
She soon proved herself right.
Uh,
The boss was more than just a guinea pig.
She was a
She was
space
a
woman.
hamster.
Experienced to give the staff focused advice exactly where it was needed.
Her experience as the greatest rocket scientist ever.
well, I mean, she wasn't the amazing Soviet
Putting a man
Sandrio.
in space seemed within reach.
They could have done it at any
The higher-ups
time.
at NASA were impressed with her talents. They took to calling her the 8th astronaut, the Mercury Lady.
Sailor
The photo I
Mercury.
sent you was taken
She had a
around that time.
300 IQ.
Suppose maybe they were planning to use it as propaganda, the world's first female astronaut. But then,
Well, the world's first astronaut at that
they
point.
hit a new snag. The government told them to add a window. There were no windows in NASA's spacecraft back then. Ham never saw the stars around him. But Washington insisted. Their sources told them Soviet spaceships had windows. Space exploration as a form
They are
of
also
propaganda in
told
itself.
to add a
After all,
hammer and
Wait a
sickle
minute,
on the
man in space,
outside.
he couldn't tell the
Because the
world what
Soviets
he
had one, so should
Most
we.
of all, though, they simply couldn't have the Russians doing something they couldn't.
Why don't you just whip them out and get a ruler?
And everybody knew it.
Windows are
NASA
madness.
was already facing impossible deadlines. Now they were adding yet another element of uncertainty to the mix.
The
Installing a
person who
window
took
would
the
both
fall
weaken
was the
spacecraft and make it
boss.
harder to shield
But
the
she
occupants
developed a
of the
way to
grave.
build space
They were
windows.
their Mercury 7 golden
windows.
boys in that kind of
Also,
picture.
cosmic
So the
rays.
boss was chosen as the pilot.
She returned to Earth as the incredible melting man.
Up into space. She was given less than a 20% chance of returning to Earth alive.
And so
But
she
she took
didn't.
it in stride, even helping them make the necessary design
She used
changes
save
to the
scum-
See,
Scumming to get
she's
through it.
she is
Mercury. It was
designing the
going to work
space
every day
windows.
at NASA to make her own coffin.
It's like the Undertaker,
Then,
except that he
without
never
warning,
loses coffin matches.
The U.S. received intelligence that the Soviets had moved their Vostok spacecraft to the launch site.
Hmm.
The launch was set for the following day. April
So
12th.
NASA shot the boss to Vostok to take the rockets out.
So it's coming down to this. A neck-and-neck space race between the boss and the Fury.
America couldn't let the Soviets beat them with Vostok.
They wanted to
NASA
be
was
beaten
forced
by
to
something
cut
else.
short the testing process and move the launch date up. They pulled
Also,
out
it
all
turns
the
out
stuff
Kennedy
needed to
created
schedule for
extra
the
cosmic
earliest
rays
hours
for
of the
that
next
day.
day.
The CIA
The
is like,
spacecraft
I
was
officially
launched
order
to take control
space
of
to
the
contain
jet
more
flight.
cosmic rays than usual.
They chose a course that would take her as far east as possible.
because she wanted
Because
some
they
sushi.
really like
Able to
China.
see the Earth in daylight from the window, at least for a little while.
See the CIA shooting her
the
the
boss climbed
bird.
into the Mercury capsule, having completed less than 80% of the regular flight procedures.
Wow.
Both
What?
the timing and the flight path were risky, and testing was far from complete. But NASA had no other choice.
But
The boss, for her part, never expected to come home alive. She was going on a one-way trip, the American version of Laika the dog.
Ah, they were both
And
bitches.
yet
Yeah.
she went all the same. Someone
She
has to
brought
be
only
first,
one thing with her,
she
the
said.
tinkly piano music
If fate
playing in the
has
background
chosen
right
me,
now.
Then I accept for my
I am
country,
fate, and I have chosen
the
you.
eyes of the world. That's how she saw
She
things.
said now is the time for all good women to come to the aid of their country.
But I'll take them. I've accepted my fate. If
She said all
anyone
this, and it was
can get through
recorded
this,
down someplace and then removed from history.
No.
on April 12th at 1:30 in the morning, the boss entered space. It
Was
was
attacked by
nothing
the
short of a miracle.
Battletoads.
First, that she'd made it in an incomplete spacecraft.
Wow.
Second, that her flight coincided almost exactly
Matter
with
of
the
fact,
Gaussians.
they bumped into each other in
As the sun
space and
rose
started
over the horizon,
scrambling to reach the space finish line on
cosmic
foot.
rays began to bombard her through the window. She saw the Earth.
And was filled with
I think you've heard the story
fury.
before. It was a world without borders. A perfect jewel.
Oh, so what you're saying is her dream of a world without borders was born out of her mind being
They seemed so
irradiated?
far away. It almost made her laugh. Knowing
How do
that
you
they
know?
risked so much to beat the Soviets by a few short minutes.
Yeah, just one woman's
If
lying to
she'd
me.
seen Vostok from her window, she probably would have waved. But the two spacecraft were destined for very different fates. Gagarin circled the Earth and returned to the Soviet Union, safe and sound. The Mercury capsule, on the other hand, deviated from its planned re-entry angle.
Under orders from
The
CIA
addition of a
President
window
Kennedy.
had thrown the capsule's aerodynamics off balance.
Well, that's her fault. She designed
The
it.
boss's
Yeah.
coffin veered wildly off course and began to plunge earthward.
Which it was never designed to do.
She landed in Zanzibar land. This is, yeah.
The course deviation caused the capsule to miss its splashdown
Deviation
point
from
by a
flight plan
wide
is
margin.
unacceptable.
It didn't have enough time to decelerate before crashing into the sea.
I crashed
Force
into
of
the
impact
sea,
shattered the
but I
spacecraft
just don't
before it
understand.
started to sink like a stone. The boss used the last of her strength to escape to the surface.
A hideous
Her body was
mutant.
covered in bruises and scorched by radiation.
She became the monster of Monster A Go-Go. She was
slipped
rescued
into
alive,
coma
well, and of
and
normal
regained
size. Some
consciousness for 6 months. To some, what was worst of all was that she had lost the space race to Gagarin by only a few minutes.
So when they told her
That
she was the
aside,
first
it
person in
should
space,
have
they
been a proud
lied.
day for America. Its first manned spaceflight.
Well, woman.
Sadly,
Woman.
her accomplishment was kept out of the history books. An attempt to save face by Washington. In contrast to Gagarin's orbital flight, America had only managed a ballistic trajectory. Her flight time was much shorter, too.
And she got irradiated.
The Soviets had brought back both spacecraft and pilot safely. NASA couldn't even conjure up a half-hearted tale of heroic survival. The coup de
Those
grace
guys
was the Soviet propaganda campaign that kicked into gear after the flight.
Those
The
jerks.
Earth was blue. Those were the words of Gagarin on his return.
Lying
And the
Soviet
whole
commie
world was
crap.
listening.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye, Gagarin This sickening
PR machine. I mean, people were just celebrating the fact that a human being had left Earth for the first time in the course of our race. I mean, what the fuck?
Knowing that the Earth was purple from the boss's irradiated reports.
Public, that it would only make matters worse. So they buried it instead, labeling it a dark mission.
By a dark trooper.
NASA and the CIA did everything in their power to erase all traces of the boss from Project Mercury.
Yeah.
The result was the photo you see before you. Not a bad job, huh?
I think I should write a book.
Not
I'm
only
making
did
all
they
this up, you know.
expunge her flight from the records, they denied that she ever existed.
Then they sent you to kill her, and you did it because
And
you're
that
a
wasn't
jerk.
the end of it. As an alibi, the military claimed she'd taken part in the CIA's botched Bay of Pigs plot to take back Cuba.
Why did you
And
make
when
my
the
Bay
boss
of Pigs
was
plot
finally
fail?
enough to return to service, they wouldn't take her back.
She was confronted by
She
Coleman
was forced to
Francis.
go underground. In
With the
public
mole.
eye, the boss was still a hero of World War II. In reality, though, she was anything but that.
She actually lost
She was
World
an
War
odd
II.
person, fit only for the blackest of black ops. In effect,
Dolomite.
she may as well have been dead.
She was
Gagarin
better
went on a
off
worldwide
dead.
tour in front of
But she went on to have one crazy summer.
The boss, meanwhile, was a walking secret.
A secret
unable to
walking.
breathe a word about her experience.
Or
The
Breath of
authorities
World
in
about her.
Washington had this to say.
You are bad. We don't like you.
If only you'd had the decency to give us a nice quote like Gagarin and then die an honorable death, you'd have gone down as a hero. 3 weeks
Ouch.
later, on May 5th, Alan Shepard, one of the Mercury 7, made his own ballistic flight.
He said the Earth was blue,
Sure
and he
didn't
got
try
his
to
medal.
cover up his achievement. Of course, he owed his success to the lessons learned from the boss's tragedy.
He designed a much
Before
better
sending
space
Gagarin
window
into
for his
space,
spaceship.
The Soviets had used a mannequin called Ivan Ivanovich to test the landing procedure,
Didn't I make that joke earlier?
which would make the boss America's version of a crash test dummy.
Well, wait. We also had the crash test.
Yeah,
dummies,
she was
the
in a
incredible
whole-
crash dummies.
She's also in a horrible Nest game, and
If it'll help the project succeed, nothing would give me greater satisfaction.
then being a crash test dummy.
And then the vent figure that she had next to her turned around and said, "No, I'm the dummy."
Yeah, he was a shit vent.
The Soviet Union's philosophers to place the sleeper agent, and at some point, the Soviets found out about it. Yet the Americans remained oblivious to the end.
None of this explains how Liquid Snake's arm was able to possess Ocelot.
Never tipped them off to the double cross. That could only mean one of two things. Either the pro-Moscow philosophers had intervened, or the anti-Moscow philosophers had been turned. Either way, it was a situation their American counterparts couldn't
I
stand.
can't stand losing. I
And to
can't.
repay her debt, so to speak. The boss once again made her way into the Soviet Union.
To kill
There,
you.
she found herself face to face with the Soviets' own agent.
Yeah, the sorrow. I guess I'd forgotten it. They do need to figure that. I guess they're gonna explain why she had to kill him. All right, sure.
So sad.
And who should she
sad.
find awaiting her return to Russia?
Was it the
The one
goofy
who
ghost?
turned her sleeper against her. Who'd fed them lies all this time.
Too many lies.
It was her former comrade in arms. The father of her child. The man
Volgan?
known
Yep.
as the Sorrow.
Yeah.
He didn't know it was the boss who'd sent the sleeper.
Or he totally would
Or
have
to be
like
more
betrayed his
precise,
country.
The Soviet philosophers never told him.
What a bunch of jerks.
Former lovers. Forced to fight.
Of course, it was in the Soviet Union, so the sorrow had a lot of backup, right?
One would live and one would die, she told me. That was the revenge the Soviet philosophers had in store for me. If both of them survived, their child would suffer in their place.
Oh, that's nice.
They were left with no other option. The boss shot him.
What was
He
it?
offered no
Whatever.
resistance.
Go back and watch
When
it later. I
she
can't
returned
figure out
from
why the
Soviet
Soviet
Union,
philosophers
there
are
was
like
no place left for
trying
her
to take her
go.
out.
She'd sacrificed everything. Everything. For her
Everything.
Well, not her horse.
And in return,
Shit.
they treated her like a dead woman.
and buried her with honor.
She was made a scapegoat for no good reason. Only because power had changed hands in Washington.
And then President Nixon came in and restored everything.
Like how?
Finally, a trustworthy and upstanding character. That mission to deliver party favors to Castro.
You were that man, Snake.
I mean, yeah.
In fact, she created them.
In fact, she created the moon.
She gave birth to the moon and it was stolen by the Russian patriots. No, ridiculous is the word you're looking for, Eva. So-called because she was actually a dude in drag.
Astro looks like a lady.
So don't you just feel wretched now that you were angry at her? Couldn't I have summed this up quicker?
Did I fire all 6 shots? Or only 5?
Actually, I was wondering about something else, but...
I was wondering whether or not there's any of that French wine from the past 2 years around here.
You know, I had, but then 10 years later, you reminded me about all this. And it took me 10 years.
I blame myself.
She meant it to be a message to Ron Simmons' house.
Yeah.
By identity thieves.
Yeah.
She put her passwords on a Facebook. What the hell was she thinking?
But I'm making all this up. Because in the past I couldn't send it to you, I was withholding it. But I would like to join your crew as a chef. Oh, and I'd also like to say the sex was good, and I'm sorry I betrayed you to China. Bye!
Or anybody who listens to these tapes.
And I know how much that pisses off Strangelove.
Listen to any more of these tapes. There's like 10 more. I'm so tired of it. I gotta find a head for Zeke.
Yeah. We'll probably
Next
have
time.
to do that next time.
Yep.
Yeah. Do we have any... Strangelove still has not shown up as a person here. I wonder
I
what's
think
going on
that
there.
who's available for briefings depends on what, sequence the missions are in.
Oh, wait. This isn't new. Alright.
Yeah,
Apparently each word... Alright, so, yeah, I tell you what. When we come back next time, I'll probably fight another Metal Gear, and that'll be okay.
Yeah, that'll be the thing.
So, jeez. They've just taken a bunch of Metal Gear Solid 3 and sort of chewed it up.
I don't know that there's anything in there that contradicts what we knew. I mean, the fact that she didn't actually beat Gagarin, but it was only by a few minutes, contradicts what she said. I'm not sure why she would lie to Snake about that at that point, but the whole idea that she'd been treated like shit, but was actually ultimately the best person ever and responsible for everything good that ever happened to America, that was consistent with the third game.
Yeah. All right. Well,
They've kind of put the CIA in the role of being the big bad guys, which flows well into this game.
yeah. I mean, it used to be that that was the job of NATO.
Yeah, NATO is like the No, it didn't used to be. NATO will become the new
That's
CIA
true.
going
In the
forward.
future, because this is flat. Yeah. All right. So,
I gotta say though, of like, okay, like dogpiling on the CIA, yeah, that's a fairly common thing in like fiction.
yeah.
But like the idea that NATO is like the worst thing ever, that was kind of like, well, what are you talking, Hideo? I'm not really interested in like sticking up for NATO. I guess NATO can do that for themselves if they feel like, but I'm a little like, NATO, okay,
Yeah. All right. Well. Anyways, though, folks.
he's a Warsaw Pact guy, I guess.
Yeah. When we come back next time, I'm gonna be fighting a chrysalis. There you go. This is Bobo the Vulture,
I'm serious, JG.
and this is Let's Play Together, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Wicked retarded.